Video to show how we finish 1x1 rib. We end with a row of 2 rows out and 1 row in, just like we start with. We add the waste yarn, and this is how we finish. Go through each loop like that, and you poke it through the waste yarn up there. Pull it through, and then you stretch and stretch it that way. Loop through, loop through. You have 1 loop either side of your thread, and then you go right through the waste yarn and the one above. Stretch your work so you have a nice loose selvage. Put your yarn in there. Loop, loop, you notice either side of there. Now in this stitch you go right through the waste yarn, so you're in position. You make sure you're above your project yarn there. Loop there, poke through the waste yarn, and we're above our working yarn up there. Lay your yarn like that. Find your loops there, poke through, and quit wiggling, please.
Okay.
This looks slightly different than the beginning, which is good, so you know which is your beginning and which is your end. And it seems like it takes a long time to do this, but it doesn't really. Once you get the hang of it, you just find your loops, and your yarn is either side of those loops. Go through the waste yarn up there to get to the other side.
Looking.
And then you do the same thing again. Go through that spot there. If you don't stretch, you might end up with a tight selvage. So I think you need to stretch after each go through. Couple more times and then we'll be finished. Make sure you're steering it. Okay, watch real closely here. There, right there, and then go through above that one. Lay your yarn down. Find your loops. Go through there. And right here you're above your yarn. Lay that down. Find your loops. And go through that waste yarn. Okay, you can shut it off now. The very last row of removing your waste yarn, when you did your 1x1 rib selvage, the last row is internal to remove. So you just have to pull it and just keep pulling. And it might seem like something's wrong, but it's not. There you go. And this is the finished project.
And stopping. Right?
Okay.